Wants to throw it to Short. He caught it. He's still on the first down. Oh, yes. The big man dives down the 31-yard line. Oh, that is beautiful. Fields looking, pressured, hit from behind, take it down. Aiden Hutchinson got him.
No respect.
So, we look like we're ready. This is day one.
No respect.
Well, good Friday evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Rocked On Detroit Lions. The Rocked On Podcast Network is hosting your pregame show for the Lions and the Rams showdown in Motown. It is the biggest showdown I have ever been a part of. I'm excited to be here. And so is this other man that's waiting in the balance here. Derek Fields with Lions Fan Syndicate. Welcome to the show, Derek.
What's up, Will? How we doing, man?
We're doing good. Just like you, I think we're all a little bit exhausted. It's been a long week. It's been a long season. We've got a lot to talk about in a little bit of time, and I'm excited to talk about it. There's a lot that we need to get off our chests, and you've done a great job this week addressing these fans, man, and telling them what it's like, what it's going to be, and what it should be when we're in Ford Field. So great job on doing that, and welcome to everybody in the chat tonight. Better the Hunt. Ryan, Southwest Lion 16, Lone Wolf's in the house, Sean Rounds, that's a new name, King SAJ, Superintendent Chalmers, everybody's ready to go. How you guys doing, man? So first and foremost, I think what I'd like to start with and just get it out of the way is the pure hatred for the Detroit Lions that I just witnessed before we went live. And this was on Twitter. And apparently the NFL Live crew, I'm not even sure what show they do anymore, but they all voted for the Rams to win. And narrow margins, tight game. I mean, I'm glad that they're showing at least a tight game, but everybody picked against the Lions. So, Derek, I'm going to start off with that question. How on earth does a former quarterback of the Detroit Lions, who has been behind the Lions this entire season and the last 3 seasons, vote against the Lions? And I mean, what do you got to say about that?
Well, I think it's got to do with the past. I really do. Because this year, I know what they're trying to, put it to our past defense and Stafford, and we know what kind of quarterback he is. But to me, Will, this is about the past. We have a better record than they do. We haven't lost 2 games in a row in a year and a half. There's no reason outside of it being Stafford and us being the Lions that they should be voted to win. I mean, the line is what is it? Is it still -3 or the Lions still barely favored? We literally just have home field advantage. That's the only difference. I think it's at 3 points. It started off 3.5. This is all about the fact that they don't trust the Lions, who we were, not who we are. And it just amazes me about how I've seen this. Like, these people picking the Rams for what reason exactly? Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. We've gone up against stud wide receivers, more than one. And one of those games we should have won, Justin Jefferson had a bunch of yards twice, but we won both those games. So this lack of faith and 12 wins, it's like, who did we beat? Well, who did they beat? Who did they beat? You go look at their 7 out of 8 wins. Who did they beat? Right? Even the
answer is nobody. Yeah, they didn't beat anybody.
They didn't beat anybody. But all of a sudden, they're going to come into Ford Field. It's first playoff game ever. Stafford's coming home. This ain't his home. His home is in Texas, and where he's currently at right now. And they're going to beat us. You know what, bro? I'm not surprised. And that's why we need to win this game. I don't care what happened the rest of the season, bro. This is the game. This game, Will, it's too heavy. The burden is heavy. 30 years. We got the longest playoff list drought, meaning We haven't won a playoff game, the longest one in like pro sports, I believe it is. We need to win this game. All the pressure is on the Detroit Lions for reasons like this, bro. I hate it. I can't stand it. They take everything we did, man, all year and threw it in the trash just because Stafford's coming back. So I think if it wasn't Stafford, it'd be a different outcome. I really believe that.
Well, we know, I mean, whether that the picture is real or not, or whether they picked against the Lions, they didn't, it doesn't matter. Everything that Derek just said is what's been happening for these Detroit Lions. How we're always, kicked to the side, we're the other girlfriend in the picture, right? I mean, we're always the odd person out, and nobody gives us any respect. And it's about time that we take that respect back and we show the world who we are as Detroit Lions fans. Number one, who's been sticking around our team forever, and we're here. I mean, this is our moment to show the world who we are as fans, but also for the world to see who we are as these brand new Detroit Lions. There's been a lot of movement going on this week, talking about a few players that may or may not be able to go. And I think I'll start off with that and just kind of see where this goes. But all week long, we've been worried about Sam LaPorta. I put out a video today about 12:30 before the press conference with some information that I had received that Sam LaPorta was going to be listed as questionable today and that he is going to suit up and play this weekend. Dan Campbell wouldn't address it in the press conference. And then around 3:30, 4 o'clock today, when the injury report came out, he was in fact listed as questionable. Now, everybody had expected for Sam LaPorta to be listed as doubtful. The information that I received last night seems to be pretty credible that the decision has already been made. And unless something happens between Thursday night and Sunday before game time, a new injury or something happens to Sam LaPorta, he is supposed to play. That is a huge advantage for the Detroit Lions to have. But like I said in the video, I don't want to oversell it. I don't want people to, be overly into the fact that he's in the game because he may not be able to do much. So part of my segment tonight is going to be, what does it mean if he's in or if he's out? How can the Lions utilize him as a decoy, if he's on the sidelines and ready to go? But Derek, what does it mean to you if Sam LaPorta is in the game?
It means a lot, bro, because we already are without James Mitchell, and I'm not sure what happened. I know they have his hand listed, yep. So but I don't remember the injury or remember them even talking about it. I mean, I was there, so I didn't really hear any announcements, but it's a big deal. And even if he obviously won't be 100%, but even if he's 70, 75, him being out there, his ability to block and create at least a diversion for to take some pressure off of St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Jamison Williams that we're going to have back. I think it's huge. It's huge for him to be in. I mean, we got Brock Wright. He's going to be back, and Anthony Fursker is on the practice squad. He can have that elevation. But I think it's big, man, because not only were some people were questioning the decision to leave him in, even though it was still the first half, it also is going to help this team because I've been hearing a lot that he's the security blanket of Jared Goff. And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, we all know who the security blanket for Jared Goff is. But him being in the game, Will, is a big deal. And I think the Rams, you and I were talking about it off air about did they really game plan for him? And probably so, right? You're not going to leave anything on the table when it's win and go home. So I think it's a big deal. In whatever capacity he can be out there, even if it's pass blocking, it's a big deal because Jared Goff is going to have two guys that want to put him in the dirt, and all the help that offensive line can get to keep that from happening, he's gonna help do that.
So here's a good comment by Sean Rounds. And this speaks to what we were talking about earlier. The Rams' last four quarterbacks that they had faced was Darnold, Brissett, Carr, and Tyrone Taylor. Is that That must be Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, so yeah,
Tyrone.
I mean, what does that tell you about the Rams? I mean, they beat up on a bunch of nobodies. Tyrod is probably the best one out of the bunch there. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys seen what we did to Derek Carr. I mean, I thought he was going to cry. So look, I'm going to move forward with this LaPorta thing. There's a few things that I had put together that I want to point out. And number one, as far as security blanket goes, he is a security blanket in the sense that if Amon-Ra's out, LaPorta was that guy, vice versa, but LaPorta hasn't been out all season. And there's only been a time or two that, Amon-Ra was out. But if Amon-Ra's out, I mean, that was Jared Goff's, outlet valve, if you will. So it is a big deal not having him in the game if he's not going to be in the game. But we are under the impression now that he is going to be playing. It's just to what capacity is he going to play? And here's a few things that I had pulled up as soon as I can find it. Just give me 1 second. Basically, what I'm going to show you guys, or at least we'll talk about here, is, when Sam LaPorta has been in the game, what kind of effect has he had on the game? And I specifically pulled 3 games together to throw a couple of stats at you guys and to talk about it, because even if LaPorta's out of the game, the Lions are going to win this game. And these stats will tell you why. One more second here. 15 pages of notes. I know it's in here somewhere. That's just how I am. I don't know why. Here we go. Let's talk LaPorta in or out. So I'm not going to lie about this one. This isn't going to be an easy game with or without LaPorta. But what I am confident about is that the Lions will have plenty of guys that can step up. I mean, that's just who they've been all season. Let's take a look at a few games that may matter to the Lions in this Sunday's success without LaPorta, if that should happen. And like I've always said, I'm not expecting that to happen. But in week 6, the Lions took on the Bucs October 15th in Tampa Bay. The Lions won 20-6. LaPorta had 4 receptions, 36 yards, 0 TDs. Not a great game. In that game that the Lions couldn't run the ball, neither could Tampa, nor could, both teams had to pass to stay alive. Jared Goff spread the ball out. Take a guess, Derek. How many guys do you think touched the ball that game?
Let me see. Well, Montgomery went out, so he had to. How many guys? I'm going to say 4, maybe 5.
How about 10?
10 people. Wow.
10 Detroit Lions touched a pass from Jared Goff that game. I didn't even know we had that many guys available. But when you look at the stats, I couldn't believe it. Everybody touched the ball. And this is just pass related. So when you talk about Sam LaPorta being out, yes, it is a huge deal because, one, he is a big deal. Best, rookie tight end that I've ever seen. And 2, his production won't be there. He is literally 25%-ish of this offensive production this season. But let's look at week 11, November 19th, Bears away game. Lions won 31-26. LaPorta caught 3 catches, 18 yards, 0 TDs. Another bad day. Goff spread the ball out again to 7 guys that game. He threw 3 interceptions that game. The defense turned up only 1 fumble recovery and pretty much played terribly against the run of the Chicago Bears. So bad defense, Goff having a terrible day, still win the game, and LaPorta was largely ineffective. Last game that we're going to talk about is week 16, December 24th versus the Vikings. Lions won 30-24. LaPorta only had 3 catches, again for 18 yards, no TDs. Goff spread the ball again to 8 guys. This game, he threw for 257 yards. The run game put down 143. The defense had an incredible day, and that was the difference. Against Mullins, 4 interceptions, 4 sacks, and they let Jefferson go for almost 200 yards. Why am I bringing these 3 games in? One, I wanted to show that if our defense has a terrible game, we can still win. If the defense has an amazing game, we can still win, with or without LaPorta. So the game doesn't hinge on LaPorta, but it's going to be a much better game with LaPorta in it. With all that said, Derek, what last remarks do you have on the LaPorta saga? Anything?
I mean, not really. I agree with what you said. I think we were kind of caught up in what he's done, the phenomenal rookie year that he had, rather than kind of look and say, you know what? Yeah, it hurts us, but how bad does it cripple us? And we've got guys that can step up. Because remember, last year we didn't have LaPorta. We had Brock Wright who could step up. And we're going to need that. So I agree with you. I just think that because this guy was a 2nd round pick and another tight end, and then to come out and blaze the trail, because all I heard was Rams, locked on Rams and blah, blah, blah. They focus a lot on LaPorta about, was it smart for Dan to play him and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, we're going to be okay. Yeah, he would help the offense. He always helps the offense, but it's not the be all end all, just like you pointed out there. So, because I don't really think he's going to be that much of a factor. Will, I saw the brace on his leg. I know he was gingerly running. Maybe he was hiding, his true self into the game. But I think that he's going to be restricted in some capacity. And if he wears that brace, that brother looked like he's not going to be able to move at all. So, but like I said, man, being out there, just a 2-yard, 3-yard pass, if he's out there, somebody got to account for him, because if they don't get on him, then he'll catch that first down pass that seals the game or something like that. So I agree with you, man. I think a lot of people are underestimating our offense without Sam LaPorta.
That's very true. And really to wrap up the LaPorta segment, it's this simple. Gamesmanship happens in the NFL at every level. Sean McVay is not naive to this. He knows that Dan Campbell is going to try to hold everything that he can close to the vest. And you've seen it today in the press conference where that smile by Dan Campbell when he's asked about Sam LaPorta playing this Sunday, he's not going to say anything until the very last minute. Sam LaPorta is a benefit to the Lions, but to Derek's point, he may not be his same self. He might be a 75%er that game. It might be good for a couple of plays. And I guess, the difference here is that who you want in the game for any long period of time, because it could be hindering you at some point, as opposed to helping you. Just him blocking is one thing, but we can bring in Dan Skipper for that too. So good points here on Sam LaPorta. L. Martinez said, hey, go to the Rams, Locked On Rams page and troll the S out of them. They've been disrespecting us fans. So there you go, guys. I haven't visited the page personally, but go check it out. Let me get to some chat here. You guys have been awesome already, lighting it up. And we are going to open up the lines here as soon as we get through these first couple of segments. But at 8:30, lines will be open. I'll make sure it's on. So Sean Round says, is DB Fuller playing? He was questionable on Wednesday. That must be for the Rams. I don't have the Rams injury report up just yet, but we'll come back to that one.
He is questionable.
All right, there you go. He's questionable as of right now. And if was he a full participant today?
He did not practice at all.
So if you don't practice and you're questionable, he has less than a 50% chance of playing. That's at least based on the stats that I've noticed over the last many years.
Yeah, because he didn't practice Wednesday, Thursday, or today.
Yeah, he's probably not playing. Lauren McQuaig, hey, good evening. Lauren had to say Lions are second in pass yards, fifth in completion percent, fifth in pass TDs, fifth in passer rating, fourth in the least sacks. Why are we talking about Matt Stafford? Good point. What makes him special? I think what makes him special, Lauren, is he is, like Derek has said, I mean, the guy is a true killer when it comes to his arm talent, his football IQ. He's very comfortable inside Ford Field, even though he's the opponent this time and not the home team. There is a lot to Matt Stafford that we should be worried about. I mean, we watched him for 12 seasons. We've seen this guy with a broken collarbone go in and shut the Cowboys down, in a last-second trick play, where he's trying to clock it, or at least they thought he was going to clock it. That's who Matt Stafford is, the guy that gets crushed on the field that will limp to the line to win the game. That takes a man of a man, but that doesn't mean that we're there to root for Stafford. Absolutely not. He's the enemy between the white lines from the time that ball is snapped and until that last whistle blows. Before that and after that, do as you wish. There's nothing wrong with Matt Stafford. He's a good dude. He's been great to Detroit. He still has a lot of things in Detroit that he does personally with his personal philanthropy, and his wife. So the game is the game. We are there to beat Matt Stafford at all costs. And so when you say, what's so special about him, there's a lot of things that are special about him, but between the white lines, man, he's a scary dude. And you let him get loose, he can get you.
Yeah, everything Will said in this, he used to be our quarterback. And for some reason, Detroit Lions fans have this affection for people who used to play here. I mean, it goes beyond Matthew Stafford. Like Stafford, Averill, Kerry Hyder, whoever it is. We just can't let these guys go. So I don't think he's special at all. Well, outside of what Will said, he is a killer. This guy, we've seen, he's got the second most comebacks in NFL history in the fourth quarter and all this stuff. The issue is people can't let go. And they are looking at, and the fact too, Will, that you didn't mention, is he won a Super Bowl. So that is the tippity top of the mountain. You can never take that away from him. The Detroit Lions have never been there. Then we got all these players on our team who haven't even been to a playoff game. And I think that that's why people are, the attention is Stafford. Like, this is his house. He helped build the house. And I cannot wait until this is over, bro. I'm envisioning driving home, and it's going to be two ways. It's going to be the best feeling ever, or the liquor store. Yeah, that might be a bad idea.
The liquor store.
Yeah, when I come, I haven't had a drink in like 3 weeks, but I might have to stop and pick something up, because if we lose this game, it's never going to end. But as I told you before, Will, I think that the story closes this Sunday. I think the Lions get it done, because if you look at it, we are a better team. We're a more complete team. Nobody's talking about Jamison Williams. Nobody's talking about Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Josh Reynolds, who has yet to really ball out. I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones, who got like one catch. So we got a squad. We have a squad. I think that everything you said about Stafford, the killer, because we know he can do that. We know that, you know what it is, man? Like you said, I think you said it. It's like the girlfriend you just can't let go. It's like, you just gotta just we know what he can do, but we also know what we can do too. And I think we get it done, man.
That's right. So you brought it up, we are a better team. So let's talk about that for a moment. I'm just going to go over the overall comparison as of Wednesday, and I'll get through this as quickly as I can. So Los Angeles Rams overall as a team is ranked 84.2, Lions 92.4. In the offensive side of the ball, they are ranked 80.3, Lions 86.4. In the passing game, the Rams are ranked 82.2, Lions 84.3. In pass blocking, the Lions are ranked 71, the Rams 62.6. In receiving, the Lions are ranked 83, the Rams 75.2. In the run game, the Lions are 88.7, the Rams are 90.2. That is the only stat that really matters, that the Rams are above the Lions. And I don't even know how it's possible when the Lions have darn near 2,000-yard rushers and the Rams have Kyron, who's just over 1,000 yards, and they don't have anybody really below him that's worth a darn. I mean, they've got a couple of decent backups, but not a 1-2 duo, like the Lions have. Mm-hmm. In run blocking, the Lions are better at 77.6 to their 71.2. Defense, the Lions actually have a better defense, ranked 72.6 to their 69.6. Run defense, Lions are at 74.8, the Rams 71.5. Tackling is another one where the Rams just kind of edge us out, but that's the only one that they edge us out on the defensive side of the ball. 49.5 for the Lions, 51.6 for the Rams. Even in coverage, the Lions are better at 59.3, the Rams of 50. And we killing it in special teams, 83.3 to their 64.1. So a lot of numbers to throw at you. Basically what it means is the Lions are, like Derek said, the better team. Per the stats, we are the better team. I believe on the field, we are a better team. Coaching, we don't know yet, but we do know that Sean McVay, he's been there, he's done it, he's intelligent. He too is a killer, because the guy has done incredible things at a young age in the NFL. And look, he's done it. He's climbed the highest mountain. You have to respect those things. And Dan Campbell said a lot of similar things to that this week when asked about Sean McVay and how he feels about going up against somebody like that. I have a lot of stats and things to go over, but I think what I'd like to do, Derek, is let's jump into the chat, get some things answered here. David Batroc, good to see you jumped in. He says, Stafford has an arm, but I always questioned his ability to read a defense. There's a reason he was a 2-minute specialist QB, because he can only move the ball consistently when the D is in a soft zone. Dude, this is spot on. Derek, do you want to start with this one, or you want me to start with it?
No, you go ahead, man. This your zone right here.
So this is an incredible statement by David, because it's very true. I always said this when Stafford played, and I even say it when the Lions have been playing this year, because I've noticed that when we're in our 2-minute or 4-minute offense, man, we're pushing the ball with ease, and we're connecting. I mean, everything is just laser sharp and you're connecting. And the reason why is because you're getting the ball out quicker. And you know that you're bang, bang, bang. You're just going to hit somebody as quickly as you can if they're open. You don't care how many yards, just get them. Stafford's been the same way. And yes, when he's in his hurry up style of offense, he can hurt you. So if they go up tempo in this game, the Lions are probably going to have a little bit of a difficult time stopping them. So let's just hope that they're not going to play the up tempo game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams come out in their first possession and go up tempo all the way to the end zone. I'm not saying they'll score, but I'm thinking that they might try to use that to their advantage. I just hope that AG starts in the right defense. As far as the question here, though, about Stafford's ability to read a defense, this part, I don't know if I agree with all of it. I think that he plays better in the 2-minute offense, but I still believe that Stafford can read the defense like the best of them. That guy can also thread the ball through just about any hole that you can find, whether it's sidearm, behind the back, through his legs. It doesn't matter. Stafford's going to do something with the ball. And he can make plays where plays don't exist. So I like the statement, though, about him, doing more in the 2-minute offense as a specialist, but not so much, when they're in their drop back mentality. I believe that's true. And I think that the Lions are going to, use that to their benefit. I saw another comment in here where we're going to have, Melifonwu up on the line early, getting some pressure on Stafford. And I do believe that is the key to this game, is pressure on Stafford and in sending the blitz more often. It can also hurt us with a guy like Stafford. So what do you got to say to that, there?
That's what I don't want to see. And that's why the surprise of James Houston. Well, I mean, it wasn't really a surprise because this guy has really never, he was never coming back, it seems like. So to me, I was anticipating him never returning before, the playoffs. And even now in the playoffs, he's not in. But as far as Stafford, that's the one thing I don't want the Lions to, they have to be careful, because one thing you'll see, Stafford is phenomenally quick at getting that ball off. If you don't get to him, I don't want them to leave the middle of the field open. I don't want a lot of yards after catch. I don't want a cup in the slot. They leave the middle of the field open. He catches it. Somebody trips and falls, gets blocked, and now one of them guys are gone. So my hope is that we can get to him with the front four, blitzing the linebackers occasionally, blitzing the secondary occasionally. If you notice, I was there, so I didn't rewatch the game later, but it doesn't seem like, we did that a ton. We did it a lot. We did it with Dallas. We did it with against Minnesota Christmas Eve, but I don't remember us blitzing somebody in the secondary a lot. And I think that for Stafford, you have to be careful, because we know that this guy will stand in there, get absolutely blasted to get the ball downfield. So we have to be careful. AG is going to be calling the game of his life coming up.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. 1,000%. This is a very important game from all respects. I mean, just from us being able to have a chance at winning it is one, and two, there is so much on the line. I hope that, AG didn't get comfortable with the 5 different, invites for head coaching positions, and he just, can feel like, hey, I'm out of here anyway. I don't think he would do that. I think he's a consummate professional that, he's going to take this all very seriously to help get us the win. He's got to call the right defense, and you're 1,000% right. Stafford, he will put his body on the line, even at, 35 now? Yeah. He will stay in there and get crushed, and he'll still get the ball off. Yeah. That's the difference between having a pass rush and not, because if you can just get there that quarter of a second quicker, he's not getting that ball off, and it's probably going to be an interception. And that's probably the segue to the next part of the defense against Matt Stafford, is talking about a pocket here. If Goff can have a clean pocket, it's going to be a long day for the Rams secondary. That's a big key for the Lions on offense. It's going to be a game of inches on Sunday, and this offensive line is coming in healthy. If you give Goff more than 3 seconds of time, he will pick you apart all day. The good news is he only needs about 2.6 seconds to really do what he wants with the ball. He's been one of the best to do it this season under pressure. Yes, he's had a few bad games where the entire line was playing, terribly, but you give him an opportunity and Goff will dice up this secondary. On the other side of the ball, we have to get to Stafford. Have to. It's a must. And the minute we start to get pressure on him, I think that's where you're going to see our defensive backs come alive. I think that CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to have a pretty decent game, helping these guys stay coordinated in their efforts and be in the right position at the right time and come up with some interceptions. Derek, I think it was a few days ago when we were chatting about whatever, I said that, this game could go two ways. If you want to go down the conspiracy way, I said that, all right, Matt Stafford probably has a place, for Detroit in his heart. We know that. Is he going to throw a couple of interceptions just because he wants to see Detroit do something special? I'm not saying he would ever do that. But I'm just saying, I think there's going to be a couple of interceptions in this game because Stafford likes to throw interceptions. And I think that this is going to be the game that he does because I think that the pressure is going to be too great for him. He's been through a lot of pressure situations in his life, but coming home to your old home after 12 seasons and all of the pressure that, his wife and him have been going through this week, I think he might crack. All it takes is for him to blink 1 second and we're going to get home to him. So, what would you like to say about Stafford at all in his ability as a quarterback? I mean, I know we talked about it briefly, but what is the one thing outside of him just being able to maneuver through the pocket and stay there and take a hit? What is the one thing that you would be most worried about?
I really think that's it, bro. Because I mean, if you look at Stafford, I would say saying he's shifty is being generous. His strongest asset is staying in the pocket, being able to absorb that hit, get it off. We've seen it multiple times here in Detroit and the brief time he's been in LA, even that Super Bowl run. So my concern is not getting to Stafford. That is my concern. It's not Stafford per se. It is this inability for us to truly get to the quarterback without sacrificing either the middle of the field or the secondary. And if we do that, we can beat this team. I think he's got at least 2 interceptions. I know one thing that'll bring the absolute roof off of this place, a pick 6 or something Stafford has not done this season, according to Locked On Rams. He's not fumbled. Not in do any research to see if they mean lost the fumble or fumble period. He did miss several games, but a turnover from Matthew Stafford. And I just feel a pick 6, man. It's been a minute since he had one. He leads the league in them, since whatever time. That's what he does. And he's about due. So Aaron Glenn, call the right game, and we taking one to the house. So my thing, Will, is we got to be able to get to him, bro, without sacrificing the secondary.
I agree with all that. And so far we've touched on, the Rams defense. It's pretty equal to the Lions. And we'll talk more about the Rams defense here in a little bit. Phone lines are open. I'm getting the first call. I'll be right back.
All right. So while we were doing that, he was talking about the defense. So check this out with the offense, points per game. The Lions are 5th. The Rams are 8th. Total offense, they're 3rd. The Rams are 7th. So rushing, we are 5th. They're 11th. Passing, we're 2nd in the NFL. They're 10th. Third down efficiency offense, we're 11th to their 8th. Red zone, 3 to their 4. So, I mean, our offense is pretty much superior to theirs. That's why I don't understand why everybody is so afraid of the offense. And as far as the defense, like Will was saying, we're pretty much dead even when it comes to defense. I might give them a slight advantage overall defense, but that's probably because of the points per game and the yards allowed as far as passing. But I think that the Detroit Lions, their offense can stand with anyone, and we've seen that happen.
All right, so we got Sports Talk with Rob on. Rob, go ahead and say hi. Make sure everyone can hear you.
What up, though, people? What up, though? Derek, what up, though?
What's up, Rob?
No, you can't hear me. I mean, I know I can't hear him, but
did you hear him that time? He said hi. But anyway, Rob, what's up, man? I think everyone can hear you just fine. And what's on your mind tonight, man?
I got a lot, but I'm gonna try not to say too much. I want to hold up the show, but I just got to get out this chest, bro. I'm so excited that today is Friday, and it means it's closer to Sunday because this has been the longest week of my life as a Detroit Lions fan because Detroit Lions fans is really getting on my nerves. I was like, I said it on Derek's show last week. Detroit Lions has been acting soft all week, but this all Stafford, you know what I'm saying? The Rams, you know, they're a sneaky team, you know, we gotta be careful. I'm like, bro, y'all been rooting for this man to leave for 12 years. Now all of a sudden he come back, y'all scared. Like, let's keep it real, bro. Like, not like Stafford. All right, like I was one of the fans. Like before he left, I was like, well, he goes to another team, he could go to a Super Bowl. But anyway, my thing is, look, I know the Rams. They got a good running game. They got 2 good receivers. I get that. You know what I'm saying? I even said at the beginning of the season the Rams could be a team to sneak in the playoffs. But we're not going to act like they just like the best team in the league or something. Like we ain't gonna act like they San Francisco. Like, bro, they 10-7, and I look at their schedule. A lot of their games they won. I only could say one meaningful game. I was like, oh, that was a meaningful game right there, and that was the first game of the season when they played Seattle. So I know that we got a lot to work on, but I feel like we still a better team. Like, I know we've been struggling with the pass rush all year, but honestly, I'm going to keep it real. I don't think the defensive line is going to have a problem in this game. Because the Rams' offensive line is average at best, in my opinion. You know?
That's true, man. That's facts right there. Would you got a prediction for a score or anything, Rob?
Bro, man, I'm going to keep it real, bro. Now, let me say this. I need it to be over in the fourth quarter. I just say this. Because one thing we know about Stafford, don't give him time.
Nope.
All right? I don't want to be up 30 seconds left, and he got the ball. Like, no way. No, sir. No. So, but I think they're going to win at least by 10. I think they're going to win by 10. Like I said, the Rams, they're not a good team. The only way we can lose this game is we beat ourselves. Turnovers, dumb penalties. If the refs, then they trying to, I'm trying not to cuss on here, not to F us over. No, that's the only way we could possibly lose. But when we on point, and I'm reading Dan body language, the team body language, just from the press conference. Like, this is a different team than before. Their body language is different. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, Rob, hold on 1 second. I got to let everybody know I've only got one line. So okay. I see a lot of people calling in, and I just want to let you know when this caller hangs up, then you guys can call in. So Rob, continue, man. Okay. Go ahead. I just want to let everybody know that real quick.
For sure. But yeah, man, the body language is different, man. You know what I'm saying? And Will, I saw you briefly talk about Sheila Ford.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to give her credit because one thing I like about her, it seemed like she stayed in the owner's space. Owner's place. She's not trying to be the owner, the GM, and the coach.
Right.
And I'm not saying this was an issue in the past because I'm not in these buildings. But I'm just saying outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the biggest difference had to be that. Just by, I don't know, y'all watch the Inside of the Den that they show at the Lions YouTube channel.
All the time.
But when they was in the draft room, each time Dan came up to Sheila, she was like, yo, Sheila, I think we're going to go this direction. You know what she said? She's like, oh, okay. Just simple. Just let them do their job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's how you build culture right there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So, Rob, let me paint you a picture real quick. It is fourth quarter. There's 45 seconds left. Stafford's got the ball on his 45-yard line. I'm sorry, on the Lions' 45-yard line. They get across midfield. The ball's at the other 45. There's 18 seconds left. It's fourth down.
Oh, Lord.
And we see the Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary.
Lord.
So if it happens, y'all can get at me later. But that's what we don't want to have happen in this game. That's exactly what Rob is trying to say. We cannot give Stafford a chance. We got to put the lights out early. Rob, I appreciate you calling, man. You're awesome as always. And we'll be out there storming Detroit on Sunday. It's going to be a wild city in the snow. It's going to be a wild night in Detroit. So we look forward to it. Maybe we'll see you around.
Yeah. So yeah, man, we on this Rams pack, man. So man, hey, Lions fans, stop being soft, man. For real, stop being soft. All right.
All right, Rob. Take care, man.
All right,
we'll see you. Go on Pride, man.
Well, you know what, Will? I'm gonna calm everybody's nerves because you got everybody all up and excited and reliving history. I've said this time and time again. Stafford's time is coming to a close. If you think about it, I don't want to get all conspiracy on Will's channel, but y'all know, okay? What we saw in Dallas, we will not see at Ford Field. I promise you that. We will not see that. This is the Detroit Lions time. I said it last year, a year ago, that it's our time. And you're not going to see the Dallas calls. This is to close the chapter on Stafford. And I told Will this off air, that if by some chance the Rams do win this game, there will be an epilogue next season. The Rams come to Detroit. That's when Matthew Stafford will get his, standing ovation or whatever other garbage y'all want to give him. That'll happen then. And then that's his official swan song. He might come back for a one-day retirement or some garbage like that, which I will make sure I go to the bathroom during that segment. But listen, if we'll know how I feel about this, Matt, I got no love for Matthew Stafford on a professional level, but I can assure you this is our time. So all that Dallas stuff, you're not going to see that.
All right, so I got Jerry on from California. Jerry, if you're still on, say what's up to all the Lions fans listening tonight.
Hey, what's up?
So, Jerry,
it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, thanks for calling in tonight. We're going to try to do 2 minutes or less and get the next caller on. Right. So go ahead and tell us what's on your mind.
Hey, I've been dying all week to know, did that Vikings defender that intentionally drop Amon-Ra in the stomach rib area last week, did he get fined? I know I'm not the only one that saw that.
I think we all saw it. I don't know. I never followed it. Derek, do you know?
Well, he can't hear me, but Harrison Smith, right now, nothing. That'll come out tomorrow.
So apparently nothing at this point through Harrison Smith, or nothing at this point for Harrison Smith, but it'll come out tomorrow, apparently.
All right.
Was that your only question? Did you have anything else you want to talk about tonight?
Yeah, just share the excitement of the Lions being in the postseason, man. This is too cool. I know we all feeling it. It's been a long time coming. Go Lions.
So you're in the California area, Jerry. How long have you been a fan, and have you always been out in the California area?
Yeah, yes, I've been out in California. I've always liked the Lions. I'm an old guy. I'm 72 years old. But in 1982, I became a diehard fan.
Nice.
Through personal things, yeah. Before that, of course, I loved, Barry Sanders and just the whole get down. But since 1982, I've been diehard Lions only.
Well, that's awesome, Jerry. We really appreciate the support here in Michigan and for our Detroit Lions, especially all the way out west in California. And Lions are doing big things. It's nice to see. I mean, you said you're 72, so you've been around, just a little bit and seen quite a few losing seasons. Yeah. It's different now.
Yeah,
so
sure.
what has you the most excited about the Detroit Lions this season, and what do you think the future is?
Well, of course, the offense has me super excited. And I'm really looking forward to putting a couple of more defensive pieces in order this offseason. And it's just so exciting to be competitive and reaching towards the top of the heap. It's been a long time, and I've been the butt of jokes out here for 40 years. So it's nice to be getting a little get back, and it's just so refreshing to finally have a winner. It's I think, like I said, we're all feeling it. It's greatest thing since sliced bread, man.
Well, cool, Jerry. We appreciate you calling in to Rock On Detroit Lions tonight and being a Detroit Lions fan. And hopefully we'll be on next week doing the same thing. I know that we will be, but it'll be a different tune to a Lions victory. Continued success, Jerry. Take care, okay?
All right, you too, man.
All right, bye-bye. So Jerry from California, been a fan since 1982, became a diehard. Thanks for calling in, Jerry. Phone line is back open again. So if you guys want to call in, and Derek, I think I interrupted you, but what were you talking about?
Oh no, just that the script is flipped, man. I told them that last year, that the script is in favor of the Detroit Lions. So y'all don't have to worry about the Dallas stuff. We are at home. This is the official passing of the torch. This is the NFL telling us your time is here. We will beat the LA Rams, and the refs will not be a problem.
Yeah, the refs better not be a problem. If the refs are a problem in this game, I'm willing to bet that the Lions will probably rush the field.
They won't be.
We've had enough. We have had enough of the refs, and I think that, and I said this to you, the Vikings game at home, that was probably the best refed game that I've seen for the Lions in a long time.
I agree.
They were sent a couple of memos like, just don't screw up, get it right. We've been through enough. Look, Detroit is a very humble city.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to cross Detroit. There's only so many times that they're going to turn the other cheek before it becomes a problem. So, all right, we got Dewan on the line. Dewan, welcome in to Rock Down Detroit Lions, man. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, I'm just so tired of this narrative of the Rams, of everyone supposed to be scared of the Rams. And we have the top rated, fifth rated offense, best run offense, one of the best run offenses, one of the best offensive lines. And I'm just so tired of this Rams this, Rams that, how the Rams are going to win and this and this and this. And all the experts are picking the Rams. It just seems like last year at Green Bay, when everybody picked the Green Bay Packers, when we came in there and we mollywopped them out of the playoffs.
Yep. Well, I think it just goes to show, man. I mean, the Lions are not going to take anybody's crap any longer. You can say all you want about the Lions, and in that was the narrative, right? The SOL narrative last season was the Lions are who they are. They're not changing. They're not going to do anything different. And they changed it. They showed everybody why it was different. It took them a little bit, longer to get going. But yeah, we had nothing to play for. Week 18, we march into Green Bay and we send Aaron Rodgers out of the NFC North as a loser. And then we picked up right where we left off this year and started off this season right. So you're right, man. It's not all about the Rams. We are the Detroit Lions. Yeah, we haven't been here in a while, but there's no reason to doubt us.
Absolutely.
So what else do you got on your mind today, man? How long have you been a fan? Yeah. Where are you from? Are you going to be going to the game, watching the game?
I'm going to be watching the game. I'm 55 years old. I'm known on YouTube as Shake and Bake. What's up, Derek?
Oh, Shake and Bake. All right. Derek can't hear you for some reason. There's something funky with our audio. He can hear you.
Okay.
He can't talk back.
Oh, okay. But hey, I just feel like it's our time. Like Derek said, it's our time. I'm a Matthew Stafford fan as long as he's not playing us. And when he comes to Ford Field, he's the enemy. And I want to crush him by all means possible. I'm hoping they get 9 sacks, 9 picks, and just send him away, with his tail between his legs.
That's right. I love it. Well, hey, I appreciate you calling in, Dewan. I'm going to open up the line to some more callers. And look, man, go One Pride. Stay humble, but stay hungry on Sunday. All right, buddy?
Absolutely. One Pride.
All right, we'll see you, man. Bye-bye.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Shake and Bake, man. Always in the chat and stuff like that. So yeah, fantastic, man. I'm with that. And it's okay, guys, if you want to root for Stafford. I mean, we're all different fans. And I think that's one of the things that makes everyone unique is how different we are. I'm cut a little different. The crazy thing is I actually wanted, it's weird, man. I wanted Stafford to go win. I did. But once that trade was asked for, then it felt a little different. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was a turning point for me. But however you feel, that's up to you. That's part of being a fan.
All right. Well, I've got Pete on with SW Lion 16. Pete, if you can hear us, man, how you doing tonight? What's on your mind?
I'm doing well, Will. How about yourself?
Doing great, man. 48 hours to go. A little bit less than 48 hours to go till kickoff. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat between this time.
Tell me about it, man. We've been waiting for this for a long time. And, the Lions, It had been 30 years since they had won a division title. And Jared Goff led this team to a division title. Matthew Stafford was a good quarterback here, but he was never able to do that. Jared Goff did. And the next gorilla for them to get rid of is to win a playoff game. And I think the reason why, everybody is picking the Rams, I think they just figure Sean McVay has been there. He's won a Super Bowl, and he is regarded as the genius, the really smart guy. And there are still people, and I think it's completely wrong, there are still people who view, Dan Campbell as maybe being less than smart. And I don't buy it. I think he's a lot smarter than people give him credit for.
Yeah.
And I want to see the Lions win this game as much, maybe more for Jared Goff than I even want it for myself, because I don't think there's been a quarterback more disrespected and more underappreciated than Jared Goff.
That's facts, man. 1,000% facts. And you know me, I'm a Jared Goff supporter. I always have been. I just knew that he needed a team around him, and he, a few pieces, and he was going to be back to his old self. I mean, he's not perfect. No quarterback is, but you can't expect more than what Jared Goff has given us for 2 seasons straight. I mean, 2 top 5 offenses. Matt Stafford never did that. Not 2 seasons in a row.
And, my wife and I were talking about it. This is I kind of compare this to when LeBron James took his talents to Miami. That was they just put that team together,
yeah.
During the off season to win a title. And they did the same thing with the Rams. Stafford had a good season, but that team was stacked.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of quarterbacks could have led that team to a Super Bowl, with all due respect to Matthew Stafford.
I think that Jared Goff could have too. And then I can't remember right now who they added. I think they added Odell Beckham that season, Von Miller that season. Who else did they add? Derek, maybe I think he jumped off for a moment. But yeah, they did have a great, how do I put it? They added a bunch of guys in the offseason. They drafted well that draft, but that was a team that Brad Holmes really put together for many years. I mean, that team was built by Brad Holmes. Jared Goff exits, Matt Stafford comes in, and they add a few more key pieces, offseason and trade deadline. I mean, that's exactly what we're looking forward to now next season, is we'll actually have the opportunity now to be able to do exactly what the Rams did after they built their core that Brad Holmes built for them. That was a Brad Holmes built team. So we now have exactly what the Rams had. We just have a little bit better situation in Detroit than one we've ever had, and 2 most teams have ever had in a long time. So,
and the other thing I would say, and I'm not gonna. This is the last point, because I know you've got a bunch of people who want to talk to you. But this argument about the Lions, or this point about the Lions giving up a lot of yards, to like Mullins and Dak. My thought on that is they're keeping the points down. They're getting the sacks. They're getting the hits. They're getting the turnovers. And the number of points that these teams are scoring is less. So is it perfect? No. And, I think there's a way to blitz without leaving your cornerbacks in single coverage. You can keep, a safety back, especially for the weaker corner, but they're limiting the points, and they're not allowing teams to control the time of possession the way the Bears did in that first game. I think AG finally realized what good is pressures if you're not getting hits, sacks, and turnovers.
There we go. That's the biggest statement right now of the season, and something I pounded my chest on all season long about was pressures do not matter. And thanks for the call again, Pete, SW Line 16. I'm going to drop the line so we can get somebody else in. Thanks, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
So that's the thing that I pounded my chest about all season was I don't care how many pressures Aiden Hutchinson or anybody else gets. If it doesn't turn in to a TFL or a sack, a pass defense, something, in an interception, then it doesn't matter. And that's where I kept saying, look, just send the DBs and the linebackers, because you're not going to get anything better out of just sending the front four all the time. And, I think that it worked. I mean, it started to work. So, Derek, why don't you go ahead and say whatever you want to say for a moment? There's a couple of questions up in here. One was about who would we want to draft next season. Let me find it real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to plead the fifth on that because we still in the season. So I can't.
All right. No draft talk just yet.
Yeah,
I'm going to hold the phone for just a moment. And I think what I'll do then is this. I'm going to go into my parody segment, because what a few of these callers have said now is why Stafford and not Jared Goff. And all of this momentum is on Stafford and the Rams and not the Lions. So I'm going to go into the parody of Jared Goff and Matt Stafford real quick. And what this means is why these two quarterbacks, are quite similar, but how Jared Goff is actually, in my opinion, a better quarterback right now. And what it means to me when I see that, all of these people giving love to Matt Stafford, throwing Jared Goff in the trash. But let's take a look at what Jared Goff has been able to do, what Matt Stafford was able to do this season, and what he's been able to do in previous seasons. But how Jared Goff really has the cojones to do what he needs to do every single season. So first, I'll start with Stafford. 3 of the best seasons for a receiver were, ever in the history of the league started with Matt Stafford. First one, Stafford fed the all-time great wide receiver Calvin Johnson during the 2012 season. Johnson caught 122 passes for a record 1,964 yards. The second time Stafford led the Rams to a Super Bowl, in large part was thanks to Cooper Kupp's miraculous season. He had 145 catches, 16 TDs, and 1,947 yards, coming up just shy of Johnson's single season record. So that's 2 receivers that he's brought the distance, and then they also, won the Super Bowl that season. The third receiver was this first-year sensation Puka Nacua, who made the best of 2023 when he broke the record for the most receiving yards, 1,486 yards and 105 receptions for a rookie wide receiver. He smashed the record. Stafford at 35 has proven that he's still got plenty, of this gunslinger mentality, left in him. But that's not everything, right? He's not the only one. Let's take a look at what Jared Goff's been able to do. Jared Goff broke franchise and NFL records with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Number one, first record he broke, the Lions franchise record for the most receptions by a rookie. He broke it in the week 14 of the 2021 season and ended with 90 receptions. Second, Amon-Ra broke the franchise record for the most yards by a rookie receiver with 912. Even though he had the benefit of a 17-game season, he did it with less targets than what Roy Williams did. Williams had 118 targets. Amon-Ra did it in 110, which tells me that Amon-Ra obviously is more consistent than Williams was. But Goff, very accurate, very accurate quarterback, and makes great decisions that helps lead to some of these things happening for his team. The third record that Amon-Ra broke, 8+ receptions in 8 straight games, tying the NFL record for the longest such streak. And then that began in the week 13 of Amon-Ra's rookie season in 2021. The fourth record, Amon-Ra produced 6 straight games with 8+ receptions in a TD, establishing a new NFL record, and that also began in week 13 of the 2021 season. So why am I bringing all this up? I'm bringing it all up because although Stafford's had 3 incredible receivers, Calvin Johnson, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp, all that he's done some amazing things with, Jared Goff is smashing the Detroit Lions records with his receivers that were rookie receivers too at one point, smashing records. And he did it again this season. So let's talk about what happened this year, because I'm not done. Sam LaPorta. Sam LaPorta just broke the rookie tight end record for the most receptions, finishing the regular season with 86. He also finished tied for second overall with 10 TDs and 4th overall in yards for rookie tight ends, which some of those stats haven't even been broken since 1960. Lastly, when you have, when you talk about Jared Goff, right after his slow start in 2022, the Lions caught fire, and a big reason why was because of Jared Goff. During the final 10 games of the season, 8-2 record, Goff completed 66% of his passes, 2,534 yards, 17 TDs to go along with just one interception. During that time, he had a quarterback rating of 103.8, and because of that turnaround, Goff ended up setting 3 Lions records: highest TD to interception ratio, which is a good ratio, lowest interception ratio, highest single season passer rating, beating what Matt Stafford did before him. So if you want to compare these two for what they've done in Detroit, Jared Goff is already tearing down the walls of Matt Stafford, and that's why this Sunday he's going to finish wrecking it with a wrecking ball, and he's going to send Stafford back to LA to go get a tan while he starts putting up some banners in Detroit. And that's what I feel about Jared Goff. But lastly, this is what I know. And it's not, that Goff isn't just directly responsible for all of these guys and having all of this success. But to have 4 offensive players this season have 10 plus TDs is incredible. That doesn't happen without an amazing quarterback. That doesn't happen without an amazing leader of your team, putting those guys in the right situation to succeed, 2 of which are rookies. So the Lions have never done what they've done, finishing with a top 5 offense in back-to-back seasons. The Lions have never done this since the Super Bowl era began. Another reason why Goff is a hell of a quarterback and why the Lions have proven that they have a complete team working and operating together. When they are firing in all cylinders, they are incredibly difficult to stop. And that's why they are going to win this Sunday. Go ahead, take it away, Derek. What do you want to add to any of that?
Well, you know what, Will, to go with what your point, and I think that Zach Goff deserves the respect that he deserves. According to The Athletic, and this came, shout out to my guy, Mr. Poole, this came to me about an hour ago, says, and a lot of you are going to hate this, but I'm going to love it. Says, Goff's agent, Ryan Toner, told me he expects the Lions to extend Goff early this offseason. Says, Detroit feels like home, and Goff wants to remain the Lions quarterback for as long as he can. His contract is up after the 2024 season, which means Holmes faces a decision on an extension this offseason. Toner said he's confident the Lions will extend Goff early this offseason. They said all the right things to Jared and to me, being his agent, that this season is not about him having to prove himself for another year. Toner said, inevitably, players always feel that way. If you don't make a long-term commitment, then they feel like you don't completely believe in them. So after all this Hendon Hooker, 4 years of trying to draft a quarterback, Jared Goff is going to be our guy, win or lose this Sunday. And it's going to be a win, by the way. And just go back to the offseason. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell. What did they say, Will? It's a lot easier to get worse at quarterback than it is to get better. Hendon Hooker will be a backup for us at best. Jared Goff is going to be around for some time, so get used to it. So that just goes to what Will, all them stats that he ran down. Jared Goff is not some scrub that belongs in the trash. He's already given us an NFC title. Stafford couldn't do that. Mind you, in 12 seasons. That's number 1. 2, a home playoff game in 12 seasons. And let's not get it twisted like, oh, he didn't have the team around him. Stafford had 2 opportunities to win the division. One, he lost to Matt Flynn. There is no excuse for that at all. I mean, that's not Stafford's fault, is it? That Matt Flynn put up 500 yards. But just like y'all want to blame Jared Goff, he's got to take some responsibility as well. So, Jared Goff, man, I'm glad you ran down all them stats, bro, because the people need to hear that. I think it's just this love, man. I think, you know what I think it is, Will? That Goff just has a face that you just think you can pick on. I think it's just, I really do.
It's the punch me face.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is, bro. So I think that I'm excited to hear that news. I'm excited you ran down them stats. And I tell you what, When Goff gets this thing done, because like Will started off the show saying, if we play mistake-free, we're going to win this game. Stafford is going to make a mistake or two. We're going to win this game. The Lions offense can hang with anyone and beat anyone. It's just a matter of what is that defense going to give up. So Stafford, man, I think we get the dub and Goff is going to lead us there. And maybe then the Goff haters will begin to quiet down just a little bit.
I love it all, man. I love it all. And I've been a big supporter of Jared Goff. And I thought, that at the end of this season, he would probably get a 2-year extension. I think you just spitting some numbers like 4 years or something like that. But I firmly believe they will latch on to Goff for another 2 years at a minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm good with that. I think that gets us through, what is inevitably, if I could talk tonight, going to be a pretty good run. I've been struggling all night. A pretty good run at the playoffs in a Super Bowl between now and 2027. I think the Lions are in the prime of it right now. They're finally getting their core together. And I mean, even beyond that, I mean, you just look at what we've done this season with two more rookies. I can't forget about Brian Branch. So 3 rookies really playing exceptional ball. And now Jack Campbell is starting to come into his own. That's 4 rookies out of 1 draft that are just exciting and really changing the game. Whether they have a sophomore slump or not, we'll see. But I think Goff's here to stay. So let's switch gears to the defensive side of the ball for a moment.
Can I lead this off, Will? Because I know you got 15 sheets, bro. But
1,000%.
You had like a whole segment. I just wanted to disappear, put me just off, and you take the show.
Go for it.
First of all, James Mitchell, he's done. He had hand surgery today. So, in Henry Ford Hospital, he's done for the year. Now, what about the defense did you want to talk about? Because they're talking about James Houston in the comment section, and I don't know if that was on your sheet, but I am itching to get into some defensive talk.
Go for it. Whatever you want to talk about. Take it away.
What did you have? Like, if we can bring it in, then I'll definitely.
Well, I don't know why they're talking about James Houston because he's not playing. He's out.
Apparently, people don't know that, which is why you watch Will and Derek. apparently, people don't know. Like people in the comment section.
He's out. James Houston is out. So I mean, whatever you want to bring into that narrative, go for it. But what I'll tell you this, I'll start with this first line. The defense needs to play adjusted to the game and not the bullheaded AG plan. And that leaves it wide open for you to run free on AG because there's a lot that you can add into that. They've got to play to the strength of their team. They've got to play how they have been the last, 5-6 weeks, which is adjusted football. They are adjusting to what's in front of them. Mm-hmm. AG not be bullheaded in this game. So go ahead, take it away, Derek.
Okay, so Well, you know how I feel about the pass rush, man. You know how I feel about it. And it's a big deal to me. And I feel like I stand on this island all by myself. And that's Derek, why do you cry so much? We're winning. We don't have a pass rush. Let's be honest. We do not have a front 4 pass rush. And I believe that the front 4, they have to win for you to genuinely be successful if you want to go the distance. And I believe in stats. I believe that they don't paint the whole picture, but they paint a big one. And there's one you can't deny. Okay. Last year, Will, let me see if you know this off the top of your head. The Detroit Lions were the only top 10 offense to finish the year that did not do what? What didn't they do? They were the only top 10 offense that did not do what?
Oh my goodness. Offense had to have done something.
What are the Lions about to do this Sunday? What are they doing?
Winning a playoff game or
the only top 10 offense that did not make the playoffs.
That's insane.
Okay. Now, why does Derek cry about sex so much? Why have I been screaming about a pass rush? Well, let me tell you. All right. According to ESPN, all right, I am going to read you the bottom 10 and the top 10 teams in sacks. And you tell me what you see. Bottom 10 in this order: Panthers, Bears, Cardinals, Saints, Giants, Patriots, Commanders, Jaguars, Lions, Rams. What do you see?
I think there's only 2 of them that are in the playoffs.
Bingo. That's why I like you, Will. That's why I like you, bro. I knew it was a reason. All right. Now, top 10 teams with sacks in this order: Ravens, Chiefs, Dolphins, Bills, Colts, Browns, Buccaneers, 49ers, Chargers, Jets. What do you see?
I think all but 1 are in the playoffs.
All but 2.
All but 2. The Chargers aren't either, right?
Yep. The Colts almost made it. One dumb pass away. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Are the Chargers in? Because I know the Jets aren't.
No, they was eliminated.
The Jets, the Chargers, and the Colts aren't in, but the Colts were in the top 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stops at the Jets. Jets, Chargers, and the Colts.
Okay.
Out of 7 teams, 3 are not in the playoffs.
So let's add this to it. Not only is that a crazy stat, but look at how many had to win to get in week 18 based on their defense.
Bingo. There you go. There you go. Right? And the Jets offense sucked. It sucks. All season, we know why. Aaron Rodgers, blah, blah, blah. Chargers, we'll put that on Staley. And the Cleveland, the Colts, they lost their quarterback, but they were 1 pass away from potentially winning that game. So why do I scream about sacks so much? Because they win you games. They win you games. That's why. And I feel, and to bring this back to James Houston not being in the game, no Bruce Irvin, because he plays for the Miami Dolphins, no Isaiah Buggs. That defensive line, Will, has me scared. I know we've got sacks, and I know you're going to love this because you're going to love it. All right. Lions ended up with what? 41 sacks. You remember what they had last year off the top of your head?
I think 39.
38.
That was close.
I have this in my head because I'm a sack man. I'm a sack man. That's funny. Okay, so Lions had
still talking about football?
Yeah, we still talking about football.
Oh, okay.
So check it out. The difference between year 1 and year 2, or this year and last year, is what? Bruce Irvin and Aiden Hutchinson. Instead of 9.5, he got 11.5. Bruce Irvin got 1 sack. What is that? 8 plus 3 is 11. We have no pass rush, Will. 0. We have a pass rusher. Now, just to contrast that, because I'm going to love this. Check this out. The team we're up against, all right, even though they are bottom 10 in sacks, they have Kobe Turner, 9, Bryce Young, 8, Aaron Donald, 8. And who is this? Michael Hoyt or something. What is that? Hoyt? However you say his last name, he has 6. We have Hutch and then who? Aleem McNeil. Hutch with 11.5, Aleem McNeil with 5, unless he got one on Sunday. So
where's the other 27 coming from then? Your DBs. DBs.
Alex Anzalone.
Yep.
Alex, that's what I'm saying. So we got to be able to win, Will, with this offseason. My third priority after St. Brown and Jared Goff, which it looks like he's going to be extended, meaning taking care of the people, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Donovan People, whatever we're going to do in-house, we got to get a pass rush. And if we can't snag a dog or AJ Epinesa get 2 dogs, then the draft is going to have to be our answer. But we have to get a pass rush. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope that Kobe Turner has a bad game, but that's the guy I wanted the Lions to get last season. He was my mid-round guy. I think he went towards the end of the first round or something like that, but he made a huge jump. Like, he was in the 5th round in December or January, and he moved all the way up. I mean, the guy is a dog. What do you play for? UCF or something like that?
Wake Forest.
Yeah, the Knights or something like that. Yeah, and there was a couple of guys coming out of that school. Here's what I love about, since we're talking defense, we'll throw a little offense into it. Our offensive line has gone up against some of the best defensive, ends, tackles, linebackers, you name it. We've gone up against some of the best defensive lines. So I'm not really that worried about this Rams defense, in totality. I think that as long as we can control what's in front of us and treat it just like we did, against the Cowboys and Micah Parsons, just like we did against the Bucks. I mean, they had a good rush. I mean, even the Chiefs, even though they were banged up, we kept them, out of the backfield. the Lions have shown that they can hang with anybody. The difference with the Rams is they've got, 3 or 4 guys that are doing it. So if our offensive line is on their A game and we're able to shut them all down, there's nobody else that we really need to worry about other than the defensive line. So I'm going to give the edge to the Lions on this one. But if I were to say defensive line to defensive line, then I'm going to give the edge to the Rams as far as, defensive line to defensive line, even though that's not what the numbers say. The numbers only speak a small part of this. Like Derek said earlier, stats are a part of it. But all that stuff is erased in the postseason because this is a new season. And Dave Phipps said it, I believe it was yesterday. He said something that I've never heard said before, and I agree with it. Even if you look at some of these stats on special teams or whatever, and where these guys are getting average, field, throughout the season, they may not get a lot of punts, or they may not get, a ton of kickoffs or whatever. And when they get a couple, their numbers are really skewed. So sometimes the numbers don't really add up, is what he was basically saying. And in the postseason, you've got to throw it all out the window. You've just got to learn to win that game and that game only.
Now, let me ask you this, Will. Okay, so I'm looking at the Detroit Lions sacks, and I see people in the comment section saying, well, people got sacks and such. Okay, let me see if you see a problem with this. Hutch, 11.5. Aleem McNeil, 5. Alexander Zaloni, 3. Okay, that's already problem. If Fitu Melifonwu, who just really came in about 3-4 games ago, 3. Romeo Okwara, 2. John Kaminsky, 2. Jack Campbell, 2. Julian Okwara, 2. Charles Harris, 1.5. Levi Onwuzurike, 1. Germ, 1. Pascal, 1. Benito, 1. Bruce Irvin, who no longer plays for our team. You ask where did the rest of the sacks come from? 1. Tracy Walker, 1. Derek Barnes, 1. Brian Branch, 1. What is?
So here's the problem. We are a sack by committee team. We do not have a bona fide plan where these guys are going to, really bend a team and change the game for us, which is typically what your edge rushers will do, or your defensive tackles, or a combination of both. What has changed, to your point about if Fiatu Melifonwu, is since the Broncos or the Saints game, memory escapes me. I don't know which game came first right now, but let's just roll Broncos game.
Yeah.
The Broncos game is when AG started to do what we've been asking him to do for a long time, which is to start utilizing the 3-2-6 and the 4-2-5 and start blitzing the linebackers and the DBs. As soon as he started doing that, Brian Branch, Fiatu, everybody was having success. It's also what CJ Gardner-Johnson does really well and excels in. So we don't necessarily have to have a defensive line that's getting all of the sacks, as long as we can get them really quickly with our DBs. Because if we miss with our DBs, Stafford's going to hang us out to dry.
You mean like Derek Barnes missed, even though he's not a DB? You mean like?
Well, yeah, he missed a sack. I still don't understand. It's like there was a time warp and he went somewhere else.
Will, he was scared. He said Dak makes more money than him. He said he makes more money than him. I don't want to hit him. I'm scared.
Yeah, come on, man. Not all that stuff's going through your head as you're running through in a half a second.
That's what he said. He said, Dak makes more money than me. I don't have that money.
Where does he come up with this stuff? I mean, look, if he would have got a huge fine, so what? The guys would have paid it. Mm-hmm. His team would have taken care of him. I guarantee it. That would have been the play of the game. I would have done a GoFundMe to get it paid for. I'm sure everybody out here would have donated $1.
Hey, speaking of GoFundMe, I might need one for the game. I might need a GoFundMe. Hey, listen, Will, I'm 4-0 when I go. We are 4-0, about to be 5-0 when I go. You know what I'm saying?
I hope we continue the streak.
I don't ask for much, but you might see a help this Lions fan continue the streak and get to the NFC title game.
There you go. And you can start by doing that with buying us coffee. We're going to be starting something new soon, but here you go. If you want to snap this, you can buy Derek a coffee right there.
Snazzy. Look at that. It got the QR code already ready.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't ask for a whole lot, but I did see something earlier in the chat where everyone was popping up, asking for likes. Look, If you think the Lions are going to win, smash the like button. If you think the Lions are going to win, send in a comment, not just a chat. Keep this thing going so the Rams can see what we're talking about. Let's push it out there in the stratosphere and get people watching and talking about it. So on the next part of the defense here's the biggest thing I think that we have. One, we have home field advantage. Okay, so we have our Lions fans on our side. Number two, we've got the return of the vocal leader. Now, CJ Gardner-Johnson got in for about half the game last week, but now he feels extra comfortable, right? He feels safe. Yeah. He took some hits. He laid some hits. He got an interception. Look, man, playoff experience, Super Bowl experience, different defensive schemes now are getting opened up. A lot of options now with CJ Gardner-Johnson on the team. He will only benefit this team, even if he's only in about half the game. I feel like he would only benefit it. Do you feel like there's any way he can hurt the team because he hasn't been with the team during the whole season?
None. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
a lot of people was like, he was playing like garbage. I'm like, dude, you haven't played in 3.5 months, but he played well enough. And we all know if you caught the soundbite, but he said, Lions ain't bring me here to win no playoff game. He like, right. Bro, I love the mindset. This dude played in the Super Bowl 11 months ago. You don't think he thinking about that? He like, listen, I came to play us to win in the Super Bowl. So I love this, bro. And I think that, and I was there, you were there, and we heard what happened when they announced the defense, CJ Gardner-Johnson. It was the loudest that I heard. It would have been him, then Hutch. But I'm just like, just him being in the game to me was enough to galvanize the defense and say, listen, we about to play for a guy that worked this behind off to a season-ending injury to come help us win a Super Bowl, which is, come on, y'all, let's be, even though the defense is where it is and all that other stuff, and I complain about Aaron Glenn, which I'm still going to do. Right now, we're in this thing. And we've been winning games, and let's win some more. We got 4 more to go. 4 more to go, and that Lombardi Trophy is coming to Detroit. So I love it, Will. I think just him being back, just the thought of, you know what, man, this guy worked his butt off. Let's play for this guy.
I'm in the boat, man. I think that having CJ Gardner-Johnson just on this squad, even on the sideline, is a huge influx of energy to this team. And in his passion, his charisma, his leadership, the way that he's going to get in the ear of Puka Nacua during this game.
Oh, yeah.
He is going to try to rattle him as much as he can. So let's talk about Puka a little bit too. Look, this guy's a dog. I don't know where Puka even came from. I don't know how he ended up in the first round. He got taken in the first round, didn't he?
No, that brother went in round number 5.
I thought he was a first rounder.
He is the 2023 version of St. Brown.
That's right. That's what they were talking about.
Yep.
Yes, for some reason I had that he was a first rounder, and I'm like, what do you mean he's a first rounder? Where did he come from?
No, if he was a first rounder, we wouldn't be talking about him like we are now.
No. So I mean, let's look at what he's been able to do against some of these teams. And let's see if we see anything that strikes us as, maybe he's better than advertised. Against the against the 49ers, I don't think he played much. That was the last game of the season. That one really doesn't count. Against the Giants in week 17, he had 5 receptions, 8 targets, 118 yards. The game before that against New Orleans, he had 9 catches, 11 targets, 164 yards. The 2 games before that, he averaged about 65 yards per game. And then against against Cleveland, he put up 105. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 more games. I mean, he's averaging maybe 50 yards a game. Against Pittsburgh, he puts up 154. Arizona puts up 26. Philly puts up 71. The Colts, he puts up 163. To start the season is where I think, Puka Nacua caught fire. 119 and 147 to start the season. But he was fed the rock 35 times in 2 games to start the season. 35 targets in 2 games. So here's what I see. He's had flashes. He'll bust out for a game, and then he doesn't do much for a few games. He'll bust out for a game, and then he doesn't do much for a few games. He just busted out twice out of the last 3 games. I think you know where I'm going with this. I don't think Puka's going to have an extremely great game. You can call it a call, a rocks lock, call that I usually do for these games. I don't see Puka Nacua having an amazing game. I think that Cooper Kupp is the one that we need to worry about. Something tells me that, if his trends, are consistent, he's not going to have a great game. So what do you want to say about Puka Nacua? I mean, guys had an amazing season. I mean, incredible season, but he's not going to have an incredible season on Sunday.
Well, you know what, man? So I'm going to retort. I'm going to say that he will. And if we stop him, we win the game. While you were talking about Puka, I was looking up Cooper. And he didn't play Sunday. But before that, these are Cooper Kupp's yards.
All right.
11 against the Seahawks, 18 against the Cardinals, 21 against the Cowboys. Is that the Cowboys? Yes. It says Cowboys. 27 against the Giants. So if we shut down Puka, it is possible that Kupp could go off. But I think Kupp drafted 2017, so he's in year 6, right? It might be time that the shift is, maybe the torch is passing a little early. And I think because of our pass defense, I do see Puka going off. I think we contain Cooper. And we've seen before that if one wide receiver goes off, we necessarily don't lose. So I think that it's like you said, man, I think that Puka's going to get his. I think it's Kupp that we got to kind of make sure he don't get none. That happens. Keep Higbee contained. I think we're going to do solid against Williams. I really do. Run defense is top 5. What is it? 2 is high up. It's up there. So I think he might bust one here and there, but I think Puka is the guy, bro, that we have to worry about as far as the offense. We stop him, we win this game.
I agree with that. Do you have the injury report for? Yeah, I think I'm looking at it too. I just don't. Someone said that Higbee was on it. I see him listed as questionable. I don't see him as out, so he's definitely going to play. But when you look at their offense, right, you've got Puka Nacua, Tyler Higbee, man, Steve Avila. There's another guard that guy I wanted the Lions to get to, and he's a starter for the Rams. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Tyler Higbee, and then their running back, Kyron. Was it Kyron Williams? Williams.
Yep.
I'm not worried about Royce Freeman, Ronnie Rivers, Zach Evans at all. I'm not worried necessarily about Tutu Atwell, but from what I understand, he's got some pretty good speed behind him.
There's another guy too, number 15, who's been catching some passes. Like, we can't sleep on him either. I forgot his name.
Skowronek or whatever.
No, Skowronek, he's 18. Look, Skowronek just came alive because there was no Kupp. When Kupp was out last year, he had a little, claim to fame, but he's not a concern. He gonna be returning.
Tyler Johnson, then maybe.
No, I think I want to name his name ain't Robinson because that was Allen. They know who I'm talking about in the chat. He's number 15 for the Rams.
So I guess to your point, when I look at this and I look at their depth chart, and you're right about one thing, there's no reason why Kyron Williams should have a good game. The Lions have pretty much shut down every running back in the league this season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if we've let anybody go over 100 yards. And if we have, it maybe was once.
I think we did, and it was one because we had this streak of not allowing over 100. I believe one of the running backs this year did. I can't remember who it was, though.
So I'm not incredibly worried about Kyron Williams. Let's say that we keep him into 70 yards or less, which is what my guess is for the game. Tyler Higbee, he's got a banged up shoulder. Doesn't mean that the guy can't catch a touchdown. We've got to watch out for him in the red zone. We know that Stafford loves to throw to the tight ends in the red zone. Puka Nacua, I think you pick your poison here. You're either going to have to shut down Puka or Cooper, and then let the second and third guys behind them beat us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that AG would be super smart to single high safety, bring more guys in the box, running 5 and 6 DBs the majority of the game. Don't worry about the front line so much. Get your pressure on the edge, get your pressure from a linebacker, but let your DBs work. Bring in 4 safeties, 2 corners. Often you got bigger guys, bring them down in the box. They can help shut down the run. We need speed. If we bring in speed, we can catch these guys. Even when they catch a ball, they're not going to get a ton of yak on us. Keeping everything in front of this defense is what's going to be key. Far too often this season, our guys are backs turned to the quarterback, running south down the field, balls getting launched over top of them, and there's a 20, 30-yard play. Happens way too much.
Yep.
They need to keep things in front. You know, the one thing that AG said after, 16 weeks was, oh, we need to get more pressure at the line and, jam Jefferson at the line. Yeah, I've been saying that for weeks, man. Like, you should have done that with CeeDee Lamb. If you just get them off their timing, you get Matt Stafford off his timing, Puka Nacua off his timing, he's going to have to advance the ball to the next guy down. So jam Puka, bring in a double team over top of Puka, force the ball and make Cooper Kupp beat us and the guys behind him. And Kyron Williams, I'm not worried about. So, look, the Lions are still going to have a tough test. Even though I can say all of these things, it's still going to be a tough test. It's going to be a tough win. It's going to be a hard-fought win. Lions got to play clean. We can't see any dirty laundry on the field.
Yeah, we won't. I don't think we will, because, like I said, Lions played a relatively clean game on Sunday. And I think that that's one thing that I've really liked about the Lions this year. It seems like they've been extremely disciplined on both sides of the ball. And I think that this is going to be a pretty clean game from both sides. I think playoff football, you let a lot of stuff go in playoff football because you want to keep it interesting. Although I don't think that the narrative is going to shift toward the Rams, like I've been saying forever, is that I had a dream last night, Will, like a dream that the Lions, that we made it, bro, that we had like the best potential route. We beat the Rams, then we host the Buccaneers or some crazy like that, who we beat handedly at their place, right? Then some crazy way we get like the Packers, some junk like that in the championship game at Ford Field. And next thing you know, we're having 2 weeks of the run to the Super Bowl. I just had that vision, bro, like, because it's not over till it's over, right? And
that's right.
And although I complain about, because I said this in the video that our season was going to end on the pass rush. Like, that's the reason it was going to end. And I truly still believe that. Because I just think that we won't be able to get to the quarterback. But I don't know, Will. I'm getting kind of antsy, bro. Like, if Sunday was here, like Sunday it's going to be freezing here in Detroit. It's snowing right now. My power is flickering, but I'm excited, man. And I just feel the Lions are going to get this thing done. But I did have a dream last night that we somehow got like the perfect matchup on the way to the Super Bowl. Next thing you know, we're in Vegas and we're playing. And Jared Goff.
Here's the one thing that cannot happen. And that is what happened with Derek Barnes on his no tackle on Dak Prescott. Okay.
I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get fined.
Look, Derek Barnes can't be worrying about fines. He can't be worrying about what happens on the field or off the field. He just needs to play his game. Yeah. These guys can't worry about Stafford. They can't worry about the accolades. They can't worry about the pressure. They can't worry about Kelly. They have to worry about themselves. Someone in the chat said, like Coach always says, you've got to win your one-on-ones. And that's going to be big in this game. You've got to win in your details. You've got to pay attention to your one-on-ones. You got to do that first. The minute you can win your one-on-one, you can move on to step 2. It's just a process of elimination. Eliminate what's in front of you. Move on to the next challenge. Don't do too much. Just stay in your lane. Hutchinson plays his best game when he stays in his lane. Yeah. All right, what's in your mind? I see you laughing over there.
No, I was just laughing at when you said Kelly, because she's probably gonna be in California, because there was one suite left, and this was Monday. There was one suite left, and I guess Matthew thought he was gonna get the hookup, and they was like, no, you gotta pay for this suite. If you want this suite, you gotta pay for it. So she was just like, yeah, I'm not sure I should be down there with the fans. So when you mentioned her name, like, you can't worry about her, I just thought about it like, man, she might not even be here, because they had one suite available Sunday night, and Matthew, I guess somebody was, I guess he texted somebody. It was like, hey, any information on that suite? And he was like, they sent him, Will, check this out, bro. They sent him a link to the website. Like, what you thought?
Here's your payment link.
Exactly. You thought we was gonna hold it. So she might not even be here, bro. Like, and then she feeling some type of way because this whole jersey ban thing has swept the nation and all of that. And you know how she get, bro, when she in her feelings, she gets some type of way. So I don't even know if she comes, man. She might already be here.
So I heard, and this is the first time that I came across this. So that Kelly's making some waves when things pop up on your phone that you've never listened to. And it was some podcast called, hold on, Kelly and Hank.
Yes, The Morning After. That is her podcast. Yep.
That popped up in my phone at like 4:30 this morning, and I'm listening to this later on in the morning, obviously. And it was them talking about going to the game, and she's like, yeah, so they wouldn't give us a suite, and I don't know if it's going to be good to, have all four of my girls in the stands, blah, 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 blah. And I mean, she did have some really nice things to say about Detroit, and she didn't understand the animosity. And look, I mean, the city of Detroit stood behind her when she had her brain tumor, and we would always stand behind somebody like that. And no matter what the circumstance is, football is football, but life is life outside of football. Life is bigger than football.
Yeah.
And we're super glad that she's doing well after all of that. So anyway, she was talking about it, but I didn't know that they were literally trying to get a suite. What she made it seem like is there wasn't one available anymore.
No,
so there may not be one available.
No, she literally said on the podcast, I don't know if you cut it off by that point, but she said that Matthew texted someone and the person responded with a link to the website. And I think he was looking to, hey, what you know about this suite? And they was like, I know what you know. Here you go. Here's a link to and it was one left. And that was Sunday night. There was only one suite left. And, who knows if she got it or not.
Hey, don't sleep on it. Hey, big shout out to Rob with the donation of $1.99. Says, have we seen the last of James Houston as a Lion?
That's a good question.
This is a phenomenal question. Do you want to go first, Eric?
No, we haven't. That's just my answer.
Your simple answer? All right. So here's my answer. It's probably a little bit more convoluted. I don't believe it will be, but I also feel like without understanding the way his contract is right now, because he was let go and then he came back, essentially was a free agent. He has had his 2 years of eligibility now. Is it 2 or 3? I can't remember. So I think he's an unrestricted, he is a restricted free agent in 2024.
He is an exclusive rights free agent. That's why I don't think he's going anywhere.
That's why he's not going anywhere unless a team wants to offer more than what the Lions are going to. But the minute the Lions give him an offer that matches what the tag is supposed to be for that exclusive rights free agent, he shouldn't be able to go anywhere. Look, I want to see him stick around. I think that it would have been a disaster for him to play in this game. I think that James Houston needed some regular season action. I really do. I just don't think, I think he's still too young. I know he had an incredible, half a season for us in 2022, but I think that he's still a little bit young and raw around the edges, that this could have been a disaster for him if he would have played in this game on Sunday. All right. Andrew Jackson says, I hope they don't get no special treatment for a traitor. We must be talking about Matt Stafford.
I like Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that comment, bro. That's how I feel.
Robert Welch says, I'd love to see him in our jersey again. He must be hopefully talking about James Houston. Look, I said this the other day to Derek too. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Stafford comes back for a day.
He's coming back, Will. He's coming back.
I think he will be at some point. Who knows? Maybe at the end of Jared Goff's contract, he comes back. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Brent says we can give up 400 yards to Stafford and still win. We gave up that amount to the Vikings and still pulled it off. I believe in that same sentiment, Brent, but I do believe the difference is Stafford, Mullins. Big difference in what Stafford can do and what Mullins did. Stafford been there, done that for many, many, many seasons. Yes, he does have a tendency to throw some interceptions. But Mullins, I mean, come on. He's just, I don't need to say anything more.
Wow.
What is this? $32 seats for tomorrow's game at KC. Is that because they're supposed to have like 3 feet of snow or something crazy?
No, like it's supposed to be like bitterly cold. In KC, it's supposed to be like, don't come without layers and layers. They said cover all your extremities and your face. So it's going to be very, very cold at KC tomorrow.
So was there some talk? I'm sorry, someone was calling in. I was trying to bring him in, but they hung up. Were they even going to play this game? I heard that there might even be a reason they may call it and move it to another day.
Well, I know the Buffalo game, they were talking about moving to Cleveland, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, because they've already hired people to start shoveling, which is insane. And the crazy part about KC is I was there the 7th of September, and we still got 2 weeks of summer, and it was hot. I didn't even know they got this cold, but it was like blazing hot in the middle of nowhere. So for them to be this cold is insane. But Will, you're thinking of the Buffalo game is what they were talking about moving, but apparently the NFL put out a memo today and said right now things are going on as planned.
Wow. I can't imagine these guys playing in minus 30 degree. I mean, they won't be able to breathe.
Yeah, if this was Ford Field, I would be watching it from the comfort of my basement. My basement cold, but it ain't that cold. Because, man, I got frostbite when I was younger, and it's not fun at all. It never leaves you. You get cold easy. Yeah.
Well, we've pretty much run through the list, so I'll open up the phone lines again. Whoever just called, you must have just hung up at the last second, but the phone lines will be open. We'll take a couple more calls, 2 minutes or less. We'll get through it. And look, I want to throw something out there. The Lions did something incredible this season for the first time in a long time that I've seen. This many Detroit Lions have an opportunity, not only with the Pro Bowl, and yes, Amon-Ra got snubbed, but we had a couple of guys make the All-Pro list. So your Detroit Lions, Pro Bowl nods. Oh, of course, we got a call coming in. I'll be right back.
As we'll talk about that, listen, the Pro Bowl has become the biggest joke in the NFL. All-Pro's a little bit better, but I'm going to tell y'all where I'm at. I'm on playoffs. Playoffs? Yes, I'm on playoffs. Get this dub because we need this for the city.
All right, so someone hung up again, so I might not answer the phone anymore.
You know what? Why are you calling? Whoever that is, why are you calling? You wasting our time.
Exactly.
So go ahead. You were talking about the All-Pro Pro Bowl.
Yeah, All-Pro Pro Bowl. So Pro Bowl, of course, we know the defensive end Aiden Hutchinson and tight end Sam LaPorta, center Frank Ragnow, linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maben, and tackle Penei Sewell have all been named to the Pro Bowl this year. We did have a lot of alternates to the tune of 7 alternates. But this is the first selection for Aiden Hutchinson, LaPorta, and Jalen Reeves-Maben. But our alternates, first alternate, Amon-Ra and Jahmyr Gibbs. Amon-Ra should have definitely been, was part of the Pro Bowl ballot himself, but he wasn't. There's even an argument for Jahmyr Gibbs. But second alternate, Jared Goff, he should have been in the Pro Bowl. Third alternate, Jonah Jackson. Fourth alternate, David Montgomery, Khalif Raymond. Fifth alternate, Alex Anzalone. So congratulations to all of those guys. And I know that the pajama party really doesn't mean squat anymore, but the All-Pro does matter. These are the cards that everyone's looking for when they come out here in the next, month or so. Offensive tackle, Penei Sewell. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, listed as first team choices this year for the Detroit Lions. Sewell received 36 of 50 first place votes. The other 14 went to Philadelphia's Lane Johnson. St. Brown, who did not make the initial Pro Bowl roster for the NFC, does get to enjoy the far more prestigious honor of being one of 3 first-team All-Pro receivers, along with Miami's Tyreek Hill and Dallas's CeeDee Lamb. So St. Brown finished the season with 119 receptions, 1,515 yards, 10 touchdowns, all career highs. He drew 18 of the 50 first place votes needed, edged out Philadelphia's A.J. Brown. All right, so to wrap up the rest of this show for tonight, what do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about the Detroit Lions, the path to success? Do you want to talk about what happens after this game if the Lions should win?
That's where I'd rather go. I'd rather go there.
All right. The last part, the later. Okay.
Yep.
So if the Detroit Lions win, there's
when the Detroit Lions win.
Yeah, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
When the Detroit Lions win. Derek, why don't you go ahead and tell us what can happen if the Detroit Lions win, and I believe we need the Packers to win and the Bucks to win.
Yeah, well, either one of them will. Either one of those teams win between the Packers and Bucks. I'm sorry, Bucks and Eagles, because you got seed 4 and 5. So all we need to do is handle our business and then have the Packers upset the Dallas Cowboys, and then we're hosting the divisional round at Ford Field.
For our second game.
Yeah.
But there was some talk. We were talking about how we can even end up with the NFC Championship at home.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. I think where we need the Green Bay Packers to beat the Cowboys.
Yep.
We need obviously to beat the Rams, and we need the Bucks to beat the Eagles. Or I guess it doesn't even really matter. I think because we're the 3rd seed. Philadelphia and Tampa Bay are the
4 and 5.
4th and 5. It really doesn't matter, but that would make the Green Bay Packers take on the 49ers.
Yep.
And then the Detroit Lions would take on either Philadelphia or Tampa Bay. I think that we could beat up either one of them. But the Packers taking on a beat up 49ers team. I mean, I like those odds.
Levi's a tough place to play, though. That's a tough place to play.
It is, but they're hurting, man. 49ers are hurting bad. So look, if the 49ers lose to Tampa or lose to the Packers, if that scenario should happen, that gives Detroit their 3rd home game of the playoffs. If that whole scenario plays out, which look, the NFL narrative is coming real. I mean, Derek called it for weeks and weeks that this Rams matchup was going to happen.
Yep. So
Derek, why don't you tell us, man, why do you feel that this matchup was destiny from the beginning of the season?
Because if you go back to when Stafford was traded, it all began with the end of the Patricia Quinn era, and you see the narrative. I had never seen somebody go from non-existent to the talk of the town, and you could just feel that something was happening for Stafford. Like it was going to be a little different. Then you watch this insane playoff run. I mean, I think the 49ers won the division that year. You wiped the floor with the Cardinals, okay, because they fell off a cliff. You beat them, and I think you beat them at their place, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. But then you go and you upset the GOAT, and then you beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and everything went perfect. You had this miraculous Stafford comeback. They were comparing that drive to the one against the Cowboys. Then you go and you knock off the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl. And it was just this, great play after great play and great circumstance. Then you get to the Super Bowl and you're up against a team that, in my opinion, you go against the Buffalo Bills, they wipe the floor. You go against the Kansas City Chiefs, they wipe the floor with you. But you go against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are just like us. And then he wins it. First year away from Detroit. And I said, you know what? And then you saw it happen that the Detroit Lions were kept out of the playoffs last year. And then, of course, you got, as the season progressed, you have the Dallas Cowboy game, which we lost that game simply for this matchup happening Sunday. And from what I hear, Will, I don't know if this is true, that this is one of the, if not the highest wild card price ticket of all time. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the rumor is going around the NFL. So I think, as I told you, I see the super chat as well, as we are closing the door on Stafford. And I don't think the Rams are going to win this game. But if somehow they do, and even, you know what? I'll take that back. We win this game. That closes the chapter. But in every story, there's an epilogue. Couple pages down, and it's a couple pages left. It's like epilogue, and the epilogue for Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions will be when he plays here next year. That's when the tribute will come. That's when the standing ovation will come. And then, of course, he'll have to come back for that one day or whatever he decides to do. But he's happy in LA. He wants to play in LA. He does not want to come back and play here. So that's the next time we'll see him in a Lions uniform. But that's why, Will, that I feel that the Lions, this was destined to happen when the script came out.
Look, man, I can't ignore any of that. And thank you, Ryan, so much for your donation of $1.99. I said, sorry about my chat. Somehow I was 5 minutes behind. I'm not sure what that means, my man, but
he left and came back, and he was behind. He wasn't caught up. Yeah,
I got you. But hey, I appreciate your donation. And hey, everyone in the chat right now, everyone watching, look, if you want these Lions to win, smash the like button. Help push this to Rams Nation so they can see us telling them that we're about to win. And there's this narrative that we're talking about, and this narrative that Derek has called for a long time. There's one thing that we've never seen before, and this is the first time in NFL history, in playoff history, that both starting quarterbacks that were traded to their former teams, like they're playing each other for the first time at the same time ever in a playoff situation. It's incredible, but there's more to
my mind, bro. That absolutely blew my mind when I heard that.
I couldn't believe it either, but there's even more to this. I mean, this is how well Brad Holmes fleeced the Rams. And I'm going to run down this real quick. I'll try to be quick, but let's talk about what happened with these picks and what happened with Jared Goff and Matt Stafford when they traded uniforms in Motown. In 2021, the Rams traded Goff a 2021 third-round pick, number 101 overall, a 2022 first-round choice, number 32 overall, and a 2023 first-round selection, number 6 overall to Detroit in exchange for number 9, Matthew Stafford. The draft selections. In 2021, third-round pick, we got Ifeatu Melifonwu. Holmes then traded the Rams' 2022 first-round pick, the number 32 overall pick of their own, and draft picks number 34 and 166, all to Minnesota to get number 12 back and number 46, who ended up being Jameson Williams and Josh Pascal. Holmes then traded away the Rams' first-round pick in 2023, which was or would have been number 6 overall. He sent that pick and number 81 overall to the Arizona Cardinals in exchange for picks number 12, 34, and 168. His next selection at number 12 in this last year's draft was a complete slam dunk, where he selected Jahmyr Gibbs. He then backed that up with pick number 34, Sam LaPorta, which may have been the best pick of the draft. And then Detroit traded the 168 alongside 122 and 139 and moved up to 96 to draft Broderick Martin, who we have yet to see what's going to happen with him. Look, this trade of one single player, Matt Stafford, netted 3 draft picks and 7 players to the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff, Ifeatu Melifonwu, Jameson Williams, Josh Pascal, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam LaPorta, and Broderick Martin. Of those 7 players, the Lions have 1 who is a league leader 2 seasons in a row in Jared Goff, but 2 are rookie league leaders in the top 5 in 2023, and 2 are up-and-comers. After the majority of the pundits and national media personalities that drenched Holmes in criticism for taking a running back at 12 and a tight end at 34 instead of defense, Brad Holmes has shown everyone that doubted him that they were wrong. And it wasn't even close. Look, you can say what you want to say about Brad Holmes, but to think that they traded away who was a very dominant first ballot Hall of Famer in Matt Stafford, a record smashing quarterback for the Detroit Lions, to the Rams and receive what we received and now doing what we're doing is incredible. Brad Holmes did it right. Yes, we needed some more defense, but I think he did it right. And I think that we have this amazing foundation to build off of. And now all of those players are going to go kick the Rams' ass on Sunday because of this trade. And that's what I'm rolling with.
Well, we got a super chat from Better the Hunt. $10 says, you two have to split the money. Thanks for giving us all a forum to back our Lions. Oh, and another.
Oh, I super appreciate that, Better the Hunt. Big shout out to you. And yeah, Derek and I will be doing some things behind the scenes and making it happen.
Shake and Baker says, that's why Brad is and henceforth the villain. Derek here is a little something for that game, bro. One pride. Lions. Shake and bake. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, bro. Look out for the GoFundMe. No, actually, it's a joke. It's a joke. But it's like, man, you know, I want to be a part of this whole thing. And you know what? I think, like I said, the Lions are going to win this game. To me, Will, it's just too much writing on this game. The longest playoff drought, 1992, is the last time that we won a playoff game. It was a connection earlier that I saw. So this came from Justin Rogers. The last time that the Detroit Lions played a game in Detroit, a playoff game in Detroit, was 1957. And we all know what happened there. So
won the championship that year.
Yeah, we've been playing in Pontiac since the early 70s. And the last time we played a playoff game in the city of Detroit was 1957. So,
well, hey, it's been fun as always. And before we let everybody go, I'm going to give you all a teaser. I know Derek doesn't like this, but I'm going to give you all a little teaser of what's coming up next week, Tuesday. It's not, everything's not decided yet on names and what we're going to do, but here you go. I don't know if you guys have heard anything that I said, because a lot of times that doesn't work, but the Rise and Grind Morning Show will be dropping next week, Tuesday. We're going to be starting at least 2 days a week. Hopefully we got a lot more to talk about on Tuesday, in this Detroit Lions win. But on the way out, the last 3 minutes of the show, Derek, what would you like to send everybody off with? And please join us next week, Tuesday. We'll be right here, same channel, same place, same time, 8:30 in the morning, doing the morning show. But Derek, go ahead and send these guys off with your final thoughts.
Okay, final thoughts is Will and I have put out a poll and see what kind of segments you guys like for us to have during the show. Final thoughts is that the Detroit Lions, you know what, Will? Hold on. Wait. If I'm going to do it, I got to do it right. All right? Okay. Final thoughts is that the Detroit Lions, they got a lot on their shoulders. They do. 30 years. Even the former Lions said, hey, go do what we couldn't do. So they have the blessing of Lomas Brown, Herman Moore, the guys of the 90s. And they have a huge opportunity. And the city of Detroit needs this win. This will close the chapter, in my opinion, on Matthew Stafford and usher in the solidified and say, hey, listen, these are the brand new Lions. They win this game, which I think they will, and it's going to put everybody on notice. Last year, Green Bay was picked to win that game by everybody but Tony Dungy. They're doing the same thing this year. All the panels are taking, all of a sudden, this resurgent LA Rams team. They forgot about the fact that we're 12-5. We are division champions. And in my opinion, we are legitimately, outside of the San Francisco 49ers, the biggest threat in the NFC North, because even though our defense pass-wise is not that good, we win games. And I think the Lions get it done. Will and I are talking to you guys Tuesday morning, talking about the matchup in the divisional round. That's what I think. And if you're going to Ford Field, be loud every time that the defense is on the field. And please, for everything that's good, when your offense is on the field, hush. Outside of that, man, I will see you guys. Man, you scared me half to death. Oh, my God.
Hey, look, I don't bring out the mask very often. I hope y'all can hear me, but listen, man, we coming. Like Derek says, we're getting comfortable. We coming on Sunday. These Lions have turned into villains, and Stafford ain't gonna want to see what we got coming for him. So look, I appreciate y'all. I love every single one of you guys that come and watch our show. We're looking forward to Tuesday morning, 8:30 a.m. And look, we're just getting started. This thing is just going to start building here in Detroit. Same thing for Derek and I. We're just getting started. So go One Pride, go Detroit Lions. We'll see y'all after the game. See you later. Bye-bye.
Wants to throw it to Short. He caught it. He's still on a first down. Oh, yes. The big man dives down the 31-yard line. Oh, that is beautiful. Fields looking pressured, hit from behind, taken down. Aiden Hutchinson got him.
No respect.
So, we look like we're ready. This is day one.
No respect.